Hey everybody, welcome back to We Are Podcast Network. This is We Are Error, Season 1, Episode 1, Favorite Horror Movies. If this is your first time checking out the podcast, thank you so much. Please go to your favorite podcast app, Spotify, Stitcher, Podbean, or iTunes, and give We Are Podcast a like. And if you get a chance, head over to our social media. All links can be found in the description. We're at Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram at /We Are Podcast. With that said, on to the podcast.
We are Error.
Alright, everybody. Welcome to Surprise Podcast.
Surprise Podcast?
No one knew that we were doing Surprise Podcast.
What?
This will be the first episode of Surprise Podcast, which we don't have a name for.
I'm so surprised.
And they didn't even know I was doing this to them. So this is Duck, and I'm here with
Jake,
and that is
Javi.
And we're going to start with a story about why Javi doesn't want to go to Hyenas and get embarrassed. What happened?
You answered your own question within the question, my friend.
I really want to know what happened. What's the story behind this?
Oh, fuck, Jake was there last time. When we got there, last time I went with Raph.
Hyenas is a comedy club, by the way.
I did not realize that Raph could possibly drop acid or ecstasy. Because on the drive there, he just kept sticking his head out the window. Oh, it's amazing, Javi! It's amazing! I was just like...
I think he dropped some tabs or something.
Yeah.
And then we get
But he claimed he wasn't high the entire
He claimed that he wasn't high. And then we get to the club.
Come on, I'm rolling!
Just on the road, man.
We get to the club, and he gets really low when he sees Jake, and he goes, Jake! And then Jake, I saw you give him that double take, just like...
Yeah.
Like, that was just like, oh, fuck, yep.
Don't ruin my fucking show.
And then, like, during 2 times, he would laugh so fucking loud, be the only one laughing, and the comedian was like, oh, that Taylor gets it, and I was just like, oh, shit.
So was he laughing at, like, the pauses in between the jokes? Like, it was off? Or what made you think
he was laughing at the waitress asking him what he wanted to order.
Oh, he was high. Oh, he was rolling hard, huh?
Mm-hmm.
And he drove you there?
No, I drove that time.
They said he stuck his head out the window the entire time.
Like a puppy dog?
Remind him of that scene from Dark Knight where
Yes.
Ledger's out the cop car.
You know what? I would love to see Raph and Joker makeup.
Yeah.
That's just
The hair would be there, fucking...
just like a dog.
And then he kept hitting on the... He kept hitting on the waitress server.
What, was there something wrong with that?
Oh, no, there's
Now,
no
was
she's
it
fucking
something
gorgeous.
right with that?
But it was
Now-
like the way he was going about it.
Now,
though.
question. Is that your kind of girl, or...
The server?
It's
or everyone else?
everybody kind of girl.
Yeah, okay.
Even I was like...
Even
Yeah,
you were.
this chick is like fucking
Smoking.
banging. Too bad her boyfriend looks like he's got part Down syndrome.
He's a little Downsy.
He does,
It's
man.
like,
Here, let me
it's
show you
like
a
he has
fucking
half
picture.
a chromosome extra.
Yeah.
Does his family...
Just a touch.
Now, do you think it's love, or do you think the family's got money?
I think a little bit of both.
All right.
Or maybe love.
Yeah.
He's a cop. Which is
Oh!
why he looks like a fucking tart.
Oh.
Look at him right there, on the right. It looks a little...
Oh, yeah.
Looks a little
Oh,
downy.
yeah.
Like,
a little
even in his
downy.
other
Yeah.
pictures, he just like fucking...
Hold on, yeah, I'll show you another
That was
one.
Robert Downey right there.
They're
Yeah.
white
Good
set and bit beady,
Yeah.
bit glaxed over.
Yeah, he's...
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like you could lose him.
It's
in
the
question
jaw.
with
I'm
2 +
thinking
1.
it's the jaw.
It's the
though.
jaw and the eye...
Yeah.
I don't know.
Yeah.
Wait, I'll show you another one. Look at those eyes.
Yep.
That was
Oh,
down.
dear Lord. Yeah, he does
He
got
looks-
the down. Oh, he's
You
quirky
may-
in it.
You may go
He's
quick.
totally quirky in it.
Yeah.
But she's got an amazing...
Look at that.
What
Tell me he's
now?
not retarded.
Dear Lord.
But she is a knockout, man. She's
Yeah.
got the greatest profile I've ever seen.
Yeah.
And he's talking about her face, not just like her body.
Yeah.
Like, just the profile of her face.
Like when he said her profile, I'm like,
It's
yeah,
amazing.
she does have a banging fucking body. No, I must draw her.
Like, the whole fucking time I kept thinking, whenever I showed her the sun's like, God damn, motherfucker.
You pull canvas out of nowhere, you're just
I was
like,
like,
stand still while you
stand
take my
still.
order.
I'm just painting your tip.
Here you go, madam.
But like, whenever she would come
Beautiful
by,
profile.
whenever she would come by, I'd be like, you're amazing. You're the best server here. You're amazing. You're
Wait,
beautiful.
she was so gorgeous you became intoxicated by
No,
her.
that's
No, that's
Raph.
Raph talking.
Oh,
Raph
okay.
was intoxicated.
The siren song had caught him.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No,
And every
yeah.
time she would walk by, I was like, oh, you're beautiful.
To be fair, does everyone
Probably
else
like,
do
will you
this
please
around
scratch
her?
my back?
Would it be the kind of girl I was around to just be like, I can just climb up completely?
You would fucking...
Or would I be like, hi?
Yeah, you'd be like, whoa,
Hi.
who is she?
Yeah. I would have that moment where it's like, oh.
Yeah, I think it's...
I must conquer her.
It's universally decided.
All right, so let's kind of warm up with that, but let's also talk about some movie news because we're all nerds here. We want to talk about movie stuff that interests us, and then we'll get into our main subject. And once again, surprise podcast. They didn't know I was doing this. So.
Movie time!
right. So, what's the latest movie news for Batman? The Batman. Y'all know about this, right? Ben Affleck was supposed to write, produce, direct, and star in this. And
no, he's
obviously,
only starring.
Is he?
They brought in Oscar Isaac, who's been added to the cast now. And there's speculation that he might be taking over for the Batman as Bruce Wayne.
Possibly.
Really? Oscar Isaac?
Yeah.
But they might have him playing a villain or something else. You never know.
Yep. The latest news that I read today was Kit Harington from Game of Thrones.
Batman.
They're interested in him for Batman.
Boo!
I don't like
Now,
that.
how do you feel about that, Jake?
Fuck
no? You don't want some
God
John Bone, Jon Snow? No?
God
What do you think of that, Javi?
I don't like it. He looks too much like a kid.
You don't like his beady eyes? Is that what it is?
It's just beady Canadian
You don't
eyes.
like his...
He's too small to play Batman anyways.
You think?
Yeah,
So
man.
not a fan?
I think Jeffrey Dean Morgan would be a good...
Well, he's already...
I know,
he's
Thomas
Wayne.
Wayne. And if they do the Flashpoint movie, we
Mhm.
talked about
He's
having
a
him
Thomas
as Thomas Wayne. Which
Jeffrey Dean Morgan as Batman? Hello, sexiest Batman ever.
Well, from my understanding, they've done mock-ups, which they do. Like, if you saw Deadpool 2, they did mock-ups of Brad Pitt as Cable, because originally that's who they were going after to play
Yes,
Cable.
and he was going to.
And they do
contractual obligations.
Exactly. So they do these mock-ups. So they've done it with him and one other actor, and they haven't specified who it is. So there's a pretty good chance we could be getting a Kid Harington as Batman.
God, I don't like that.
I'm just saying.
Honestly, I like Ben Affleck as Batman in Batman vs. Superman. Justice League, they made him a fucking bitch.
Yeah.
But seriously, the more you watch BVS, he's a good fucking grizzled Batman.
Yep. And
He's like a epitome of the Batman.
Even the fucking cinematography of the shots that they frame him in, like where he's on top of that crane with the fucking rifle and shit. That's fucking Batman. That's Dark Knight Returns right there.
even the underbite, though.
Yeah.
I enjoy Batman underbite. I guess he did in The Dark Knight have a bit of an underbite to his character, didn't he? Yeah. Shit. All right. So, Batman, 2019 we'll know, but they still don't know if he's going to be in it or not. That's kind of the guessing game. My guess is he won't be in it. I don't think he's going to be in it.
Yeah, it keeps dropping off each fucking assignment.
Yeah, I think with him being in rehab and all this stuff, I don't think he'll do it. But I think it's weird that we all at first were like, fucking Affleck. Because I remember the first time me and you talked about it, we were like, fucking Affleck. And then slowly we're like, that could work.
Yeah.
And then finally we're like, all right, I like that.
Kevin Smith put it pretty good. This guy's fucking...
he
read Batman comics his entire life. It's his biggest fucking...
And he coined the term Batfleck.
Yeah.
So... All right, Arnold Schwarzenegger could appear in the Predator sequel. Supposedly, he was supposed to be in a final scene of the new movie, and he turned it down. He said, "I didn't want to do this." But if this movie does well, which I've stayed clear of the trailer. Does it look good?
It looks all right.
It looks all right.
I think it's going to be better than what they're portraying on the trailer. I think they're trying to save the good parts from the trailers.
How do we feel about the Predators from 10 years ago? Was it 5 years ago? 10
Was
years
that the one
ago?
with
The Predators was dope.
Yeah.
I like
that.
that.
Adrian Brody, right? And Topher Grace?
Yep.
Fucking Robert Rodriguez produced it.
And he wrote it, too.
Yeah.
That was a good
So,
movie.
he stayed true to the fucking theme in the film. They even used the fucking score from the original Predators.
Right. See, I hadn't seen it since it first came out, but
I
remember enjoying it for what it was. I remember enjoying the twist of Topher Grace being a serial killer, but I don't...
Yeah. Walt Goggins is the fucking prisoner in there.
I forgot Walt Goggins was in that.
Well, Lawrence Fishburne's in it also.
And the fucking Yakuza fucking
That
samurai
scene
dude at the end
when he
where he
fucking
fucking dies with the sword.
fucking
You guys are so
badass.
pumped about this. I need to rewatch it.
I just love certain scenes like that because he was like, fuck this shit. He went out like Billy. He was like, fucking went like that. It's like,
pretty
look at
much
all the
like
bitch.
Billy from the original.
Damn. How do we feel? How do we feel about Predator 2?
I like it.
I don't remember. I only seen Predator 2 like twice, and I was a kid.
I know people fucking give it a little shit like,
But
Danny Glover killed the Predator.
You lived in New York City, though, right?
Yeah.
So, did you ever fantasize that the Predator was out there somewhere?
They were
drinking
they were in
blood out
futuristic
Jamaican
LA.
I
skulls?
was too busy thinking that there was actual TMNTs in our sewer, just fucking eating pizza.
You thought that?
Yes.
I believed it, too.
They were in a futuristic LA, though, in Predator 2.
It was like 1998 or something like that. Right?
At that time, it was futuristic.
Why did they do that? Why did they only say that 5 years from now it'll never arrive?
Yeah.
10 years. Might as well put it 100 years in the future and just go with it. But so how do we feel about... Here's the thing I always thought was funny. When they were going to do Aliens 5, there was a lot of talk of putting Arnold in that. This was 10, 15 years ago. Because they kept saying it... Well, it could have been. Yeah, 10, 15 years ago, I guess. But he's always been attached to that in some way. The Predator, of course, makes sense because he was in the original. But he's always attached to these sequels tentatively. And then with those universes kind of being connected, I thought
they
that was
are
kind of
connected.
cool.
Because look, in Predator 2, there's a fucking Xenomorph skull
Yeah.
in the fucking background of his
And then,
trophy room.
and then we got straight up.
Then you got
Aliens
AVP.
first. And then Aliens reversing everything. So in Predator, it's freaking great. Isn't there an Aliens versus Predator versus Ash, or maybe no?
No, it's AVP Requiem. They have two AVPs.
I fucking hated that sequel.
You didn't like
I
it?
hated
Oh.
both of them.
I didn't
I didn't
see
like either one of them.
You didn't like AVP?
Oh man, it's fucking stupid.
So when does the Predators come out? Is that next weekend?
Yes.
All right, on to the next thing. Revenge of the Sith's Order 66 scene had to be toned down. Now, my personal opinion, the Order 66 was the most ridiculous thing ever because the Jedis all went out like bitches during it.
Yeah.
How did they not see it coming? Especially that one that's walking to the jungle and she just turns around and the thing hits her. That's always bothered me. But evidently there was a lot more of killing of younglings, which we all do enjoy. That scene is killer from that. We were terrible people for thinking that. But then when that lightsaber comes out and that little kid shudders, you're like,
Skywalker.
what are you doing here, Mr. Skywalker? That shit was cool. But evidently they were afraid of getting a R rating. They wanted to get it knocked down to PG-13.
Makes sense. I mean, that's the only it was the only Star Wars movie that was PG-13 up until Force Awakens.
So Ian McDermott, who played Emperor Palpatine, he said, he goes, I think it was a little more gruesome than you ended up seeing, you know. A lot of young potential Jedi ended up on the cutting room floor. Ha ha!
Oh, pun.
Alright, who wants to see that?
Me.
Throwing that out there.
What, do you have video of it?
Yeah, I do.
Let's watch it.
Let me bring down the screen.
Alright.
Alright.
But
I think that they should have, like I said, I felt like a lot of people went out like a bit. Like, how did you destroy all the Jedi and they didn't even know? How did they not see it coming?
How did they not sense it?
Yeah.
Yeah.
But
all exterior with the Force.
Here's the thing, though, is it kind of builds up how good Obi-Wan and Anakin were when you see how shitty all the other Jedi were.
Well, at least even the Master Council, like the ones who denied Anakin onto the fucking council.
Yeah, they were terrible.
They all just, you're not strong enough.
We're
not gonna make you master, but you can stay on the council. Oh shit, we're all dead.
Yeah.
By you.
Well, I saw a thing once where it kind of took the view from Anakin's point of view of like how he felt like the Jedi were evil and this and that. You can kind of go with that if he wasn't such a whiny bitch.
He says that. From my point of view, the Jedi were evil.
Yeah.
Then you're in trouble.
Yeah, but he also said sand was evil. So can you like?
I hate it.
He hates the elements.
Gets into everything. Bed sheets. Don't like it.
All right,
of course.
Have y'all heard about Star Trek 4 and the fact that they were going to make a sequel? Chris Pine and Chris Hemsworth as his father doing time traveling, where I went to the past.
That hasn't gotten used out at all yet.
I mean, the fourth Star Trek movie was about time travel with the whales and stuff
Makes
like that.
sense.
So it would be kind of cool if they did that. They went to do negotiations for it, and they all walked away from the table at this point. And they're saying we're not doing it unless we get paid more. The only problem is Star Trek Beyond did not make as much as the last two movies did in the series. So they all walked away. But William Shatner says he was right to do so. And he said, make your money. That's bullshit, basically. How do we feel about no more Star Trek, potentially?
I'm really kind of indifferent.
Yeah.
That last one was a fucking bummer.
You didn't like it?
It was a fun summer blockbuster.
That's
but the
all it
first
was.
two had fucking good, solid plot, storyline.
It had
Everything
substance.
else.
I disagree. The second one was terrible.
You didn't like it?
I couldn't stand it.
I liked the whole retake on fucking...
Couldn't stand it.
Fucking Khan.
Whenever Spock screamed, when he screamed Khan, that's when I went, I'm done. I'm good. I liked everything up until then, and I really like that one scene that's like 5 minutes long that there's no speaking with the father who's going in and hacking the system, getting the information. It's just music playing. I thought that was amazing.
Yeah.
And then I also kind of like the space jump from one ship to the other, but after that, I'm good. Especially when, like you said, you like the Khan switcheroo.
Yeah.
I couldn't stand it. I thought that was ridiculous. And then to save him with a tribble, I was just like, I'm good. I'm good. I like Star Trek. I thought it was pretty decent. Javi, what's your opinion?
On Star Trek?
Yes. You're not a Trekkie, are you?
Trekkie is derogatory at this point. I think they like to be called Trekkers.
Trekker.
Trekker.
The difference is Trekkers are people who like the next generation of Beyond Trekkie or like anyone who liked it before. I found that out today.
60s.
Yes, exactly. I'm a Trekker.
You're a fucking nerd.
Nerd! Has anyone seen the new Mummy movie?
No.
With Tom Cruise.
No, I haven't.
I think I have.
You have seen it?
Yeah.
I like how you said, I think I've seen it. So...
Keep repress that memory.
Yeah.
What did I fucking tell you?
Bottle it up.
Yeah, I've seen it.
You saw it? Did you like it or no? Because you barely remember it.
No, I didn't like
Well, that's the problem, is they were trying to recreate the Universal monsters. Now, in the 90s, they did Dracula and Frankenstein, of course, which you either love or you hate. I kind of love both of them. I like both versions of them. They're weird. Have you ever seen them?
Which Dracula?
Bram Stoker's Dracula, Mary Shelley's Frankenstein.
I like
Came
Mary
back from
Shelley's
the dead
Frankenstein.
and
That's
Dracula.
with De Niro, right?
That's with De Niro.
I love
Yep.
that one.
And then Francis Ford Coppola did he did
Get
Dracula. So they were trying to remake those. This started like 8 years ago, where they did Dracula Untold.
Yeah.
And then they were going to do a
That was
Universal.
actually alright.
But they were trying to start what is called the Dark Universe. They were like, okay, Dracula Untold didn't do so well, so we're just going to do The Mummy now and start it that way. And then that didn't do as well.
What I heard was Tom Cruise fucking made all the decisions on the movie and fucking reworked it to include more of him and everything.
Yeah. We got to do this, guys!
Yeah.
But anyhow, so basically the Dark Universe has been put to bed. They're not going to do anything with it. Now, they asked Jason Blum of Blumhouse if he'd be interested in reviving it and trying again, and he said yes.
Good.
So
Everything he touches fucking gold.
is gold.
pretty
I
much.
know.
What has he done?
He's done pretty much anything you've enjoyed in the last 10 years. The big two would be Get Out, and he's doing the Halloween. He did The Purge, that series. They started out as like a small production house that takes on many big things now. And then Halloween they're doing right now, which will be out in a month or so. They're going to be doing more Purges. I mean, there's a Purge TV series.
Did you see The Green Room? With
No,
Anton
I've been
Yelchin
waiting
and Patrick
to watch
Stewart?
that.
That's a Blumhouse. That fucking movie is badass.
Is that?
Oh, dude, it's fucking
dope. That one was fucking awesome.
So are we going to see Halloween when it comes out?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Why not?
All right, that's what I'm saying. So, if it does well, they said they'll do a sequel. That's obviously.
It's probably not going to be well, man.
Anything that does well is going to get
But that kind of brings us into what I want to talk about.
Titanic 2?
Oh. Do you ever see that trailer, Titanic 2, where it is? Basically, they recut all these Leonardo DiCaprio movies to make it a sequel to Titanic. That shit's awesome. But that brings me into my subject, not the Titanic 2. I want to talk about horror movies and what our favorite horror movies are. And I did not know this beforehand. Javi's over there flinching. Javi, check your nails. Bitch! Javi, do you watch horror movies at all? Because I know me and Jake are huge horror movie buffs.
I like to watch horror movies, but I have to have another living person with me.
And the light on?
And the light on.
I like to have a dead person with me.
Yes.
That's how much
I pull up the corpse
like
next
horror
to me.
movies.
My favorite mood to watch a horror movie is it's got to be dark and cloudy and stormy out, and that's when I'll shut off the lights.
Well, that's your problem. You should be watching them on sunshiny, happy days, man.
I can't, man.
Hey everyone, it's just Duck jumping in here real quick to say thank you so much for checking out the podcast today. If you're enjoying it, please head over to your favorite podcast app, Spotify, Stitcher, Podbean, iTunes, and give We Are Podcast a like. And if you get a chance, head over to our social media. All links can be found in the description. You can find us on Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter at /We Are Podcast. And if you're enjoying the podcast today, please share with your friends. It's the only way we can grow this network. With that said, back to the podcast. We'll start with Jake. What is your favorite horror franchise? And once again, surprise podcast. You didn't know I was doing this film.
I mean, it's got to be. I like Jason, obviously. So the Friday 13th franchise.
So Friday 13th.
But just the character Jason alone, I think I like the most.
What is your favorite iteration? What is your favorite movie in that?
So how much you say Jason X?
Dude, Jason X is the shit. What are you talking about? That movie's fun.
The third one and the fourth one are really good.
So the third one, where he, which is the 3D one. Where
no, wait. What's the one with the fucking kid in the sleeping bag and he fucking takes and fucking hits him across the tree? That's not the first one.
Well, that isn't Jason X. They do a call back to that, but it's not in the first one.
No, it's the second or third one.
Yeah,
wasn't that?
It might be in the fifth one.
Wasn't that with,
no, I thought the fifth one he went to fucking Brooklyn or whatever.
No, that's Jason.
Jason Takes Manhattan. That's
Jason
8.
That's 8. Jason Takes
So
Manhattan. Fifth one, I didn't even think he's the killer in it. I think it's somebody who dresses up
Same with the
like
first
him.
one.
Yeah, because the first one he's not the killer.
No.
The second one he comes back. That series is so fucking good. So wait, have you ever seen any of these movies?
I've seen all the Jasons.
You don't like horror movies and you've seen all the Jason movies?
I don't like horror movies, but I still watch them. I'm fucking dead.
But it's so hard to just choose one because I mean they all fucked me up so bad as a kid.
So what is it? What was your first experience with that? The first time you saw one of those movies? What's your memory of it? And were you scared?
Scared and intrigued at the same time. I was watching.
Just like masturbation.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Well, I mean, I was masturbating. So.
As you were watching it the first time.
Yeah.
I don't know why this feels right.
My brothers are 9 and 7 years older than me, so they were probably like 13 and 12.
So is that the thing? They were watching the movie and you happened to jump into the room?
We'd stay up in the living room and watch TV, and they're older, so whatever they wanted to watch, I watched by proxy or by default. So that's how I know a lot of my trivia shit, because they watch more mature shit.
Right.
Than what I would have if I were.
Did they ever share the porn with you, or did you find that on your own? Okay, because I think that's the job.
I had to find it my own sometimes, but usually they'd share it with me, or they'd be like, "You told Mom and Dad you're fucking dead."
Yeah.
That's what I.
But it was so good they had to give it to you. They're just like,
it was just like,
look, the titties on her. I swear to God,
it was so good that they couldn't not watch it in front of me. Not that they had to give it to me. It's just like, well, if you're gonna be here, whatever, shut the fuck up.
Here, take this.
And that's pretty much how all that went. Scary shit, sexy shit.
And then they slowly blended together.
Yeah.
So how about you? First time you watched a Jason movie? Where were you? What were you doing?
I was about 4.
How do you remember that?
Dude, I was also... I think I was 7 years old when I remember first watching Pulp Fiction on my uncle's house. I remember like a lot of his shit, but I was like...
Yeah, but could you appreciate Pulp Fiction at 7 years old?
No, because I remember when the GIMP scene happened, they were like, Jay, you gotta leave the room.
Yeah, but it's a little too late. Did they know what was happening?
Just stay there. I didn't know what was happening. I was just like, why the hell's that guy dressed up like that? And that cop going like that on GIMP's head. Yeah. I just remember that sound. And then...
Is that why you do that all the time? Because you do that a lot.
Do I?
Yes, you tap your hands like that a lot.
I do also.
Yeah. You saying I'm
was
like
it the
Zed?
GIMP?
I don't know.
Zed's
Maybe
dead,
so.
baby.
I got a tick from the GIMP.
So what was your first Friday the 13th movie?
I think maybe 3.
3?
Yeah.
What do you remember from it? What was the kill that you remember that really stuck in your head for both of you?
It was night. It was running. The chick was running through her forest. She was using nothing but underwear and a shirt, and she was running towards the car. And
that's not a kill. That's a naked woman.
I'm just saying that Jason's like chasing her. He's going like that. He's chasing her, and he takes the time to actually stop and do like a plie with his chainsaw. And I remember just thinking, it's like, if he's running after her,
he didn't have a chainsaw. He's chasing.
No, he had a machete.
Okay.
And he went like that. Like, he completely stopped chasing her just to do that.
And plied it down.
And then he ended up getting her. I was like, why the fuck are you going to stop in the middle of the chase and do that? She can't see you.
You gotta throw some stank on her, man.
You're not being menacing to her back.
It's called art, honey.
She was just like,
Get it?
As an artist, we figured you would understand the plie. But as,
yeah, I can understand the play, but at the middle of a chase, though, he wants that kill. Unless he was just like that ultimately confident. I'm going to get this no matter what.
Alright, Jake, what was the first kill that you remember?
The one that I liked the most growing up, and I told y'all this before we started this, it's Nightmare on Elm Street 4, The Dream Master. Mm-hmm. The kid Joey's on the waterbed, he's watching MTV, and he's got fucking Billy Idol starts playing in the background, favorite truck. He's looking at the fucking wall, sees some fucking hot chick on a poster up there, and he's like, yeah, falls asleep. Wakes up, and she's waking him up from inside the waterbed, and he's like, whoa, like on top of her. They're totally about to do it. She goes away. And he's like, what? Where'd you go?
Come
and then
back!
fucking Freddy just pops out of the waterbed, and he's like, how's this for a wet dream? And
shit,
fucking
that's
great.
actually pretty great. I was going to say, so that brings us actually to Nightmare on Elm Street. How about that when you were a kid? Did that freak you out at all? Did that make you...
me half to death.
Yeah?
I first saw the very first Freddy Krueger movie, and I did not sleep for about 3 days. I was just staying up all night, just making sure I would not fall asleep, because I didn't want Freddy Krueger to get me.
How old were you?
I was about 5, 6.
Damn, dude. Shut the
door. The one kill that fucking got me was he was out in the backyard, and the chick was and she tries to wake up the girl that's sleeping next to her. I think someone's out there. And then she goes out there, then she's her, then she comes running back in. And all of a sudden she gets in the bed, and all of a sudden she goes, floor, ceiling, floor.
Oh, hell yeah.
And I was just like, what the fuck is happening? Oh my god! Yeah. And then I had a nightmare that night thinking that Freddy got me the exact same way, because I was all like, bam, 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 bam.
My brother,
so
my older brother, could not take a shit in the toilet for a long time because he thought Freddy was going to come out of the toilet.
Oh, I thought it was because of look who's talking too.
Yeah, oh yeah. I want your pee-pee. Give me your pee-pee.
Give me that
pee-pee. Oh, dude, I thought that shit was hilarious when I was a kid. That made me so happy.
I knew it was Mel Brooks, and that still
was Mel Brooks, right?
I knew it was Mel Brooks, but that wasn't enough to stop me from still being scared of that scene.
Really?
Yeah, that's
You know what? You're right. I was freaked out by the toys for a while after that. Holy shit, I forgot about that. Damn.
Isn't it how my aunt's bathroom had the exact same, like, carpet
Blue
covering on it? Yeah,
it was blue, right?
Yeah, it was blue. It was like,
Give it to me. And it has, like, vampire teeth. Is that scarier than Freddy Krueger? Because I do remember that now. Like,
I would say so. I'm pretty sure that's what freaked me out.
Dude, I want to get decals to make my toilet look like that now. And a little motor, and people come in and are like, give me that pee-pee! Give me that pee-pee! Give me that duty! You know you want a duty. Oh, shit. Okay, so were there
He
any
wouldn't shit on the toilet for 3 weeks because he thought Freddy was.
Oh no! He thought Freddy was going to come out and give him a snip, I guess, give him a circumcision or something like that. But he was freaked out by it pretty bad.
Not my foreskin.
He would tell me that, and then what was the goo that came out of the tub in Ghostbusters 2?
Oh,
that freaked out my other brother.
Really?
Yeah. He always thought that was going to get him, or he wouldn't want to take a bath alone because he was freaked out by it.
You know what really scared me as a kid? I think being 4 or 5. I remember sitting in our living room. We had these little side tables by the couches that had lamps, but I was a little kid, so I could go underneath it, like, and hide underneath the fucking table. And every time the clowns came on, Pee-wee's Big Adventure, when they fucking take his bike and they do surgery on it, scare the fucking shit out of me.
Would you go hide?
We'd go hide underneath that little fucking table in the living room while watching it, like trying.
And this is a kids movie too. That's what's so.
Yeah,
there's
Tim Burton though. But then the doctor fucking took off the mask and like he looked like a normal doctor, but he had clown fucking.
Dear Lord.
He's like, what
was the Big Bertha or was it?
Yeah,
Large Mars. That freaked the shit out of me because I remember running out of the room.
It's the same thing with the Twilight Zone movie at the beginning with fucking Dan.
Oh, I've never seen it. I've never seen it.
So
I've always looked away.
You want to see something really?
They showed it at the beginning.
Yeah,
because I've never seen it.
That was my first time I've ever seen Dan.
I swear to God,
other than in a Ghostbusters movie, and that really freaked me
out. Last time I watched that movie was like 27, 28, and I looked away then. I was just like, can't do it. Don't want to do it. I'm good.
It's not that bad. It's just got like blue, grayish fucking skin and white hair.
The one that really got me, talking about like a G-rated PG movie, was Who Framed Roger Rabbit at the end.
The fucking dip when he goes...
At the end, yes.
Like,
his eyes were I remember I was like 4 or 5 years old hiding behind a couch crying. Same thing. That's why I thought that was funny. Because that, and I could hear, that and
it's like so scary that you can't get away from it. Like you want to leave the room, but you still have to stay in there and kind of like hear it and watch it.
Yeah, that's exactly. Yeah. The other one was Bill and Ted's Bogus Journey. Whenever they take off the mask, the face,
the mechanical fucking,
and they show, I'll do that.
Catch you later, Bill and Ted.
Oh, it was so awesome though. But that's the other thing though. Do you think that had the effect of as we got older, we love this shit now because it scared us so badly when we were younger?
I think so. It would have to, right?
Like I know for Bill and Ted, like which one had like the robotic Bill and Ted?
The Bogus Journey.
I fucking hate those.
Or Bill and Ted Go to Hell.
Those versions of Bill and Ted scared the fuck out of me as a kid.
That's awesome though.
But now, it's just because of their movements, and now I fucking love it. It's like,
it's so good.
I could watch that.
And that's what I'm saying. There's a transition period somewhere. I guess maybe after you lose your innocence or something like that, where you begin to love that kind of shit. Like I remember being a teenager and still being afraid of zombies. And then all of a sudden, it was like one day, I fucking love zombies. I love zombies. I love horror movies. I love anything that's scary like that. Love anal. It's the best.
It was scary at first, but I love it now.
Yeah, now I've gotten used to it. I'm trying. So, what movie is your favorite horror movie of all time? I mean, period, done. Like, it doesn't have to be. We love franchises. Jason, Freddy, Halloween. We love all that shit, but. Like, what is the one... If I said, hey, let's watch a horror movie, what would you pick? Doesn't have to be a slasher. Doesn't have to be... it can be a thriller. It can be...
See, I've got like 3 or 4 different choices. I can't just...
That's okay. Just say one, and then we'll go around.
I like the new Evil Dead.
The new one?
Yeah.
What is it about that one? Because I was kind of... I like the original way better. Are you raising your hand?
No.
I like the fucking... all the death scenes and the fucking gore in it. Like, it's fucking insane. Whenever the chick's in the fucking bathroom cutting her face off with the fucking mirror, she starts pissing herself and shit. Yeah. Like, fuck. This is intense. And all the fucking blood
It's beyond gory.
Yeah.
And I can't really remember. Is she fighting herself or like a duplicate of herself?
Kind of like a doppelganger that embodies.
And I remember that
like
being really
fucking ripping off her fucking hand from underneath.
But
the
the movie
Jeep.
has a wonderful dark tone that's permeates the entire thing.
Yeah.
Takes itself very serious.
Yeah.
But when you watch the original The Evil Dead, it has a wonderful dark tone.
Right.
That maybe because the graphics aren't great, but they are. That's
it's
the thing.
hard to kind of take it serious, but at the time whenever it came out,
the first time I saw that movie, I was watching it with this kid I was hanging out with, and my girlfriend at the time, not the same guy from the gay day, it was a different guy. He was really cool, and he brought over The Evil Dead. We were watching it, and when the tree rape scene happened, my girlfriend freaked out, ran to the bedroom, started crying, wouldn't come out.
They handled that tree rape scene really good in the remake.
Did they make?
Also.
Oh, I don't remember that. The remake.
Yeah, that was fucking intense.
But I remember laughing my ass off whenever both my ass off whenever it happened, and then she's crying, and I couldn't understand why she was crying. Still to this day, but I remember
maybe she was raped.
Well, that's
by
what
Groot.
I am Groot.
Yeah,
you love it. How about you, Javi? What's your favorite?
Oh fuck. Well, this is a recent one.
All right.
It's because I don't know why. I just found myself really drawn to this movie. If you would ask me before I saw this movie, I probably would have been like Cannibal Holocaust or maybe Sale for the Asylum. But fucking Train to Busan, I don't know what it is about that movie.
I haven't watched it yet, but I've heard it's amazing.
I fucking love that movie.
Have you heard of that? It's the zombie
it's
train
a Korean
movie.
zombie train movie.
Zombie train movie. All I've heard is it is
intense.
amazing. Yeah.
It is amazing, and you can't even make an argument with it. It is a beautiful movie. Especially with that end scene, you're just like,
it hit
that is amazing.
It hit a lot of top 10 lists last year.
It is so good. I saw it on Netflix a few months ago, and I was like, I think this is a really good movie.
It's just kind of like Snowpiercer on a train. Does that sound right?
Oh, Snowpiercer's the shit.
Yeah.
Snowpiercer's on a train also.
Yeah, well, I mean, zombies on Snowpiercer train.
Oh, there's no. Yeah, it's kind of like that.
Is
Zombies
it?
on a Snowpiercer train.
I would say my favorite horror movie I'd watch any day is Dead Alive. I fucking love Dead Alive. And have you ever seen Dead Alive?
It's awesome.
It's a Peter Jackson film made in the 80s.
Was it that zombie one?
It's the cover's got a fucking
with
skull on it
the
with a human eyeball looking out.
Yeah.
No, Meet the Feebles is the Muppet one that he made before that.
Yeah.
The Evil Dead, Dead Alive, also known as Brain Dead in other countries,
that's how I know
is one of the, if not the goriest film ever made. Now, we used to rent that from, Blockbuster or wherever, and we didn't realize we were getting the rated R version. About 10 years after I watched the first one, which I fucking love, and the reason I love that movie is it's got the weirdest setup. It's a son who lives with his mother. She's controlling, she's demanding. He falls in love with this gypsy girl. They find out about this curse in the family, and then, dude, you gotta watch it. It's amazing.
I've seen it.
By the end of it, Jake, you've seen it too, right?
Yeah, it's been a while.
Oh, dude. So by the end of that movie, though, with all the gore and stuff, I've always thought it was amazing. Now, about 10 years after I watched the original version, I had gotten a downloaded copy of it. I did not realize that there was a different version, unrated version of that movie. So there was 20 additional minutes worth at the end of it. And I was freaking out because I was stoned out of my mind. And all this cool shit's happening that I never saw before. But the thing that got me was at one point, somebody's face gets ripped off, and then it sets up straight to screen, it pops in the screen, and I ran out of the fucking room. I'm too happy as shit! It was
I can't remember.
Was
it
amazing.
Trauma level gore?
Oh, dude, it's beyond.
Trauma.
Really?
Oh, yeah. Oh, dude, it's the goriest movie, if not...
I thought Cannibal Holocaust
But here's the thing is, you said the Evil Dead remake. That's a gory as shit movie,
yeah,
too. I would say that's on par with that. All right, so what's your second movie you pick?
Definitely The Shining.
Fuck yes.
That was just one of those movies you watch as a kid.
Do you
and
believe...
change the channel every fucking 10 minutes.
Do you believe in the theory that it is his artistic vision showing the moon landing stuff and all that? When it
I've seen, the Room 237 documentary where they talk about all the different fucking theories of what it could be.
Do they talk about in that how the carpet is actually the Apollo space or the pad, the landing pad, and how he had the trucks arranged and shit like that?
And he's got this shirt on his sweater, and whenever he stands up, it's like the rocket taking off.
Exactly. Do you believe in that theory, or do you think that's bullshit?
I don't know. I mean, I've watched 2001 Space Odyssey regularly, and it's pretty fucking hard to say that doesn't look real, what we expect outer space to look like. He fucking nailed it.
The monkeys in the beginning, though.
Yeah, horrible. They had to have
I remember
people in suits.
I remember watching it at school and everyone laughing. I'm like, you're right to laugh. But once it got to like kind of the slow spaceship shit, I was like, this movie's pretty cool. And that's what I love about that movie is it's like 3 different movies. What I love about The Shining is that what one person dies in it? Hong Kong Phooey dies. That's it.
Yeah,
but
but
there's this over like that the tension that's throughout the entire movie is fucking killer.
Yeah.
How did you feel about the Ready Player One scene where they go into The Shining?
Oh, loved it.
Yeah.
I was like, oh fuck yeah, man.
Dude, you have it?
Yes, I do, and I will ruin a part of it. At one point, they go in the book. They go into what's that Matthew Broderick movie from the 80s?
War Games.
War Games.
In the book, they go into War Games, and he has to redo every scene as Matthew Broderick's character in the book in War Games, and that's how his score goes up and down based upon if he hits the right lines and action stuff like this. In the movie, they go into The Shining, and they kind of have to do the same thing a little bit. But basically, they just go into The Shining to find the key. And it's really cool because they redo some of the scenes from the movie, especially the Crypt Keeper coming out of the tub and, making out and all that stuff. And then they end up doing weird zombies in a dance room, which is so over-the-top and fun. I like Player One.
Do you have the book?
What's that? Yeah. I do not have the book, no. But I have the book on tape! Which is a digital format, so it's not on tape. So anyhow, what is it about The Shining that you love?
Jack Nicholson.
Oh, yeah.
He's great.
I like Shelley Duvall too.
Yeah.
Does anyone else find Shelley Duvall was hot back in the day?
Not so much. I've always known better.
There's something. There's something about
them big old teeth, dude. You get them danglers.
There was something about Shelley Duvall's eyes that I just found really attractive back in the day. Like in Popeye,
she looks like a goldfish.
You want to pop them out and skull fuck them?
They're already kind of out there, dude.
I know, but I just found something very pleasant about her.
I like her too.
Aesthetically, she's gorgeous. I thought she was.
Yeah. And remember Fairy Tale? Do y'all remember Fairy Tale Theater that was on PBS where she had directed like a bunch of different fairy tales? Rob Williams was in a couple of them.
Yes! I fucking remember those. I love those.
It's kind of cool. Alright. Pick your next movie, sir.
Next movie? I don't know. I'm kind of put on the spot with this surprise podcast.
Yeah, it's a surprise podcast!
Surprise podcast.
That's what we do. You're killing the momentum right now.
That air.
Ju-on. Probably Ju-on.
What the fuck is Ju-on? Oh, The Ring.
No. The fucking Grudge.
The Grudge.
The Korean version of The Grudge.
The original.
The OG.
Without Buffy.
Without Buffy.
Who's in it if Buffy's not in it?
I think it's the only one. No, that's The Ring again.
Yeah.
It's The Grudge. The
Grudge,
Korean version where the girl's missing like half
so
face.
What is it about the... Is it Japanese or Korean?
It's Korean.
Okay, what is it about that version versus the US version that's better?
I really don't know. I just like the fact that they showed more.
Did they just take that movie and remake it with Buffy? Is that it?
Yeah, that's pretty much.
But it wasn't as good?
I thought it was alright.
That whole fucking shower scene where she's fucking showering and the fucking hand comes all the way back of her head, that was cool.
Well, the Korean version, I just really liked it because, like,
I never saw it.
The score that they used for it, how they would draw you into, like, little things, and like, you know how the song The Grudge goes like that? I remember one scene, she's on video camera, and then that's all you hear is like, and it like slowly builds in, and it kind of like gets you in, and then all of a sudden she like, pops in front of the camera, and it's like...
Okay, let me tell you my story about that. Scary Movie 3, is that the one that does the parody of that? I think so. But I think Scary Movie 3, the comedic version of it, does The Grudge, and when she's driving and the Grudge face shows up in the window, I fucking freaked out. In the comedy movie. Now, somebody said that happens in the original movie, too.
Yeah.
So they were like, dude, I knew it was coming because it happened in the original movie. Because like in Scary Movie 3, it's the thing goes, or something like that. And I was like, holy shit! Same thing happened to me in the Lord of the Rings Fellowship, or the first one. Whenever Frodo goes for the ring and he goes, and I jumped and I was like, oh my god, that's so scary. And my friend didn't move it on. I was like, what the fuck? And he goes, dude, I read the book. I knew it was coming. I was like, oh, shit.
Oh, when Bill kind of like goes chicken killer?
Yeah, when he goes a little demonish.
What about the first time you watched Jurassic Park? Did you not get a jump scare whenever the fucking goat leg landed on top of the
Fuck yes!
Like the entire theater. The entire fucking theater jumped at the same time.
And it's like, now that I look back, it's like, couldn't they tell by the way that scene was set up, something was bound to happen?
Oh, dude, that's awesome. Alright, so if I was to pick another movie... I'm going to pick The Ring. Because we were talking about it. But the reason I'm going to pick it is because it worked out beautifully the way I used it against my younger sister. I had just watched it. I enjoyed the shit out of it. It's the American version I watched. I was like, boy, that was really creepy and good. And I looked at my sister, who was like 11 years old at the time. I was like, you should probably watch this movie. So I handed her the actual VHS tape.
Yeah.
She popped it in not knowing anything about it.
Yeah.
She didn't sleep for like 7 days afterwards. Oh, yeah, dude, I should have. I don't think I did that. She was ready for it, though.
Yeah.
But she was just like, I think there was a moment of like, she thought I was cool for handing her a movie and like, like, I want to share this with you. And then she watched it and she was like, I fucking hate you so much. You've ruined my life. But, alright, so what would you pick for your next one?
Like I said, I like the movie The Witch.
So what is that movie about?
It's about these pilgrims in the fucking 1600s who get exiled from their community and forced to go live off on their own and they're in the new states, before they become the states.
Mm-hmm.
And they're accused of being heretics. And it's a family of like 6, oldest daughter, oldest son, 2 twins that are a boy and a girl that are like ages 5, maybe 4. And a newborn. Well, the newborn gets kidnapped at the beginning of the movie, and they don't know what the fuck happened to it. They suspect that maybe a wolf took the baby while, they're out. And it is a witch that does it, but it just slowly seduces the family and fucking makes them all crazy one by one.
Holy shit!
It's fucking badass.
So is it a slow burn of a film?
Yeah. Yeah, definitely. Because whenever it hits the end, you're like, whoa. Like,
They came out of nowhere. Yeah, I've heard that it's amazing.
It's really fucking good.
Huh.
I want to spoil it, but I don't want to.
No, I want to watch it.
But then think like the movie 7. Okay,
like the slow burn, and then there's a twist.
The scene where they fucking go to the guy's house for sloth with all the fucking air fresheners in his apartment, and then he breathes. You're like, holy shit! Like that was fucking scary.
Oh yeah, it was killer. I remember the first time I watched 7, I was just like, how did I miss this shit? Like, this is one of the best movies I've ever seen.
I think I was too young when I first saw 7 because I was 9.
Mm-hmm.
I was just like,
you weren't 7?
I wasn't 7.
You should have been.
I was a kid and I didn't know what I was watching. Like I think was it Lust, where he had that guy in his suit with the
you hit some weird. You had the Gimp when you were young. You had that when you were young. Like, good lord, dude.
Does that mean you're into it now?
Yeah.
No.
Would you put on the dick blade and go to town?
I would.
He made me wear that thing, and he made me fuck her. He made me fuck her.
Tell me you wouldn't act like that. That's how I think I would have felt too.
Like,
you think you would have done it? Or you wouldn't?
I said I wouldn't have done it.
No.
No.
That's true. I guess he did have the option not to fuck her.
Yeah, he might have died, but I still wouldn't have done it.
Huh? Would you have done it? Pussy. Oh, I don't know. Maybe I would have done it.
Well, it depends on which chick it was, I guess.
Yeah. All right, pick your next movie.
Never seen it.
Yeah, is that an African film?
Or was that?
I had it when I was taking a piss. I was like, no, I forgot.
Is that some fucking masochistic fucking wear leather shit like Gimp and his fucking lust? And
He's
shit?
like, I saw a movie called BDSM.
Oh shit! Which one? Dawn of the Dead, the original from the 70s?
Was eating Gilbert's ass.
Oh yeah, I like that one.
Dawn of the Dead.
There's something about that premise about a zombie apocalypse, and you have to find shelter and like make it a safe haven. I don't know why. I just get such a rush during those type of movies. Like, oh yeah, they can do this.
Yeah,
I could do that.
Did you see fucking What Comes at Night? Good, because that fucking shit sucks.
What was that movie?
Goddamn premise.
What was that?
It Comes at Night or whatever the fuck.
The one with the red door?
No, it's got fucking Joel Egerton.
Yeah, it has like a red door in the attic, right? And
is it that movie with it never shows night? It's always daytime, and it's like a slow burn movie too. But it doesn't.
But nothing ever comes at night.
Nothing ever shows up. Yeah,
like
I
I
heard it's a psychological thriller more than anything. It's like the idea.
It's like a cabin fever type, where a stranger comes along and they don't know if they can trust them. You know, like.
And it's just a slow burn throughout the whole movie, and then nothing
it's
happens.
like nothing fucking happens. It's just slow. It's not even a burn. It's just,
like
you know what the burn is? They're laughing at you for fucking wasting your money. Like, oh, that was a real slow burn.
Welcome to Red Box. You're fucked.
Real slow burn.
So I was going to say about Dawn of the Dead. I've actually been in that mall, Monroeville Mall. And I went on a zombie walk in that mall where I actually dressed up as a zombie and went. This was probably about 10 years ago.
I just figured that was what the mall looked like in general.
It was so fucking cool. We were walking through the mall, and me and one of my best friends was there, my girlfriend at the time, and we're doing our zombie thing, and everyone's just coming along. And there's a guy who looks just like fucking Gene Simmons from Kiss in there. There's a Gene Simmons impersonator. Nope, not dressed up or anything. He's just Gene Simmons singing it up. He just looks like him. He's just a look-alike. And so we're like, Gene Simmons.
Motherfucker.
Gene Simmons.
How busy with that Hot Topic that day?
Oh, dude. It was actually, that's where I met Ken Foree, who was in Dawn of the Dead. He played one of the, if not the lead character of that movie. But my favorite, he was on Kenan and Kel. He played the dad in that.
I know.
But he was in a lot of,
Devil's Rejects.
Mm-hmm. Yes, he was. But I got to meet him, and I thought that was really cool. And I got him to sign, like, I had an amputated arm or leg or something with me. It wasn't real. But I got him to sign it, and then I lost it in the zombie shuffle. But whatever. But it was kind of cool. I was looking at a picture of it the other day. It was badass.
There's an actual Monroeville, Pennsylvania?
Yes. That mall is a real place, yeah.
Zack and Mary had a porno made by
that was
Monroeville. And they had George A. Romero's zombie makeup guy in it?
Where we went to...
And the hockey team was the Monroeville Zombies.
Yes. And so where we went to actually get it signed was a comic book store there. They brought Ken Foree in, and it was actually Monroeville Zombies. That's the guy who owns that. That's his hockey team.
That is badass. Yeah. I never put that together.
Yeah, dude, it is cool. That's the only time I ever went to that mall, and I lived like right by it too. I just never went there. There was one that was closer. So, I guess I gotta pick another horror movie. If I was to want to watch a really badass horror movie, The Evil Dead 2.
Yeah.
You can't be against any of the Evil Dead movies. The first one, scary. The second one, scary and funny as shit. And the third one, funny as shit.
The first one, I still cannot watch by myself.
No?
I can't.
That movie is so genius because at first, yeah, it's got a creepy atmosphere, but once the people start coming back from the dead or getting possessed by the Deadites, that movie just is fucking genius and awesome and scary. And the second one is so randomly different while being a remake. The same movie. It's amazing how they took what was the film he put together to kind of pitch the movie of having Bruce Campbell possessed, and then the first movie, and combine those into a second movie which redoes both those movies. And then the third movie, fucking the ending. Why is it... I remember when it came out, it said Bruce Campbell versus Army of Darkness. I was like, why the fuck is it called that? And my friend looks at me and goes, why wouldn't it be? And I'm like, that is the attitude you have to have. And then we were so high by the end of the movie. We were watching it actually at a college in a computer room where a bunch of people were doing like their late night work, and we're watching this movie because we thought it was fucking cool as shit. So we got people gathering around us. And the game was every time there was a person in a costume or a puppet, you would just go puppet, costume, puppet, costume. Oh, both. That's a puppet. Because what they do at the end is they have people in the costumes in the back, and then they're bringing little Muppets along the front of the thing. Dude, that movie, I love it.
Shot smart.
I would...
Did
you guys watch the new series?
Evil Dead?
Yeah.
Yes.
Did you? I only watched the first season of it.
Oh, I did. It was alright.
And they only went 3 seasons, right?
Yeah, I think so too.
2 or 3. Man, I watched that shit.
Well, I like what Evil Dead, it kind of made me appreciate Sam Raimi's style movie.
I like the unused ending for Army of Darkness.
Which was when he goes back to the... Which one is the actual canon one? Where he goes back to the store?
Yes.
Or when he goes to the future?
He sleeps too long is the unused one.
That's the unused one. Where
he says, take 3 drops of this, not any more or less.
So in the actual, he does go back to the store. So
yes.
So the series makes sense.
Yes.
It's actually canon.
Yes.
Okay. Because I always thought
the unused one was where he fucking oversleeps for 100 years.
It goes to the future.
Yeah.
That's freaking awesome. All right, one last movie and then we'll kind of close this down.
Oh, I like Needful Things. How about that?
What the fuck is Needful Things?
It was a fucking Stephen King movie with Ed Harris and Max von Sydow. He runs the fucking shop.
Yeah, I remember that.
He runs the fucking
antique
store.
Is it the one where things are possessed or they're cursed and then they
the people will come to the fucking antique store and he sells them an item that pertains to their personality or whatever, and it fucking makes them...
Is that an anthology movie, or is it a single story?
I think it's a single story.
How long's it been since you've seen it?
Years.
Yeah. I definitely want to check that out. I know the Rick and Morty episode makes fun of it, where the devil shows up and he curses objects, and Rick takes the curses off of them.
Yeah.
That's the only thing I knew really about that. Kind of like the Devil's Paw situation, I think it was. Pick one last movie we had to watch right now. What would it be?
What's that movie with Dushku and Sisto? Wrong Turn.
Has Cisco in it from like the
Jeremy
Sisto.
Wrong Turn. Oh, where they meet the hillbillies.
Yeah.
They meet my family.
Appalachian Americans, please.
Yeah,
you know what's fucked up? That movie scared me. That movie still scared me to this day.
Henry Rollins is in one of the sequels. That's all I know about that. It's a good movie.
And Wrong Turn?
Yeah.
I think it's a great movie. And Here's a tip to how scary I find this in the end scene when the guy like turns out to be alive and he's like that. The last thing, you actually see his actual teeth, and then you see the fake teeth over his teeth. And even though I see that, and no one that can stop me out of being scared of a movie like that, I'm still terrified of that fucking movie.
You know what? I was terrified whenever I saw Donatello with his mouth open.
Yeah.
Did
Did you see that when you were a kid? Did you notice it? Or
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah.
What did you think? Did you go,
oh.
it's not real!
Yeah, no,
my innocence is gone!
That's creepy. I don't know. I was like, man, they fucked up.
I think I would want to watch Cube.
Oh, fucking love Cube.
Here's the thing. You guys said that. I've never seen Cube.
Oh, yeah, Cube.
No, I've heard it's amazing, though.
You know, I can think of a bunch. No, not a bunch now. Yeah. Like 13 Ghosts was fucking.
Oh, I love 13 Ghosts. Yeah, and he played Shaggy before he played Shaggy.
Yeah, right. You're like, wow, Scoobs, let's go check out this.
All right, yeah. Actually, let's say we had to do based on the 13 Ghosts. What you just said. It's got to be a classic horror movie based on the fact, like Universal. Which one is your favorite of the classic black and white or something along those lines? Frankenstein. Dude, I'm with you on that. I think that might be my favorite. Fuck it. I every Halloween.
The makeup is amazing.
The story is good.
Well, yeah,
like just the whole thing from the beginning to the end. That is a solid fucking movie.
Yeah,
that movie is amazing.
Creature of the Black Lagoon.
You know, it was originally like fucking orange and shit.
Was he really?
Like everybody pictures him as green, but because of black and white, the way that they filmed it, he was like this fucking orangish.
Does that take away from the terror?
Oh no, it's just different. You know,
I literally thought you had your hand down your pants there for a second. The way your hand was resting, I was like, "Why is he grabbing his dick right now?"
I'm stomach when my hands are cold.
I'm actually going to go with Jake on this. I'm going to say Frankenstein because I'd watch the shit out of that. That movie is so fucking good. Have you seen the original Frankenstein? Mm-hmm. But you know what? I might go with Dracula too because I feel the exact same way about the original Dracula with Bela Lugosi.
Right.
But yeah. Anyhow, I think we need to watch a horror movie, so we're gonna get going here. So thank you very much for listening, and hopefully we do this again soon. Surprise podcast.
Yes, surprise podcast, surprise podcast. You big surprise podcast.
And there it is. Thank you so much for checking out the podcast today. If you have enjoyed it, please do not forget, share with your friends. That is how we grow the network. And if this is your first time listening, head over to your favorite podcast app, Spotify, Stitcher, Podbean, iTunes, and give We Are Podcast a like. And if you've enjoyed this podcast, you're going to love the other podcasts here on the We Are Podcast Network. We have We Are Bagu, a video game podcast featuring me and Dr. Ethan Eastwood. That's where we talk Atari to Steam and everything in between. Don't forget, Heroes Gyros, a Dungeons and Distraction side quest. Me and the boys were sitting down, we're playing some D&D, we're having so much fun. You can go and start that from the beginning of the journey, Season 1, Episode 1. You're going to love it all the way through. And finally, I hate being sober. Personal stories from epic people. I'm going to sit down with some of the most epic people I've ever met in this world, and we're going to talk about their life, we're going to talk about their trials and tribulations, and we're just going to talk about their journey this far. Head on over to our social media. All links can be found in the description. You can find us at Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter at /WeArePodcast. Also, head over to the Facebook group, We Are Error. We would love to see you in that group. And don't forget, if you've enjoyed the podcast today, share it with your friends. That's the only way we can grow this network. With that said, do not forget, support local comedy in any way that you can. We really do appreciate it. We'll see you next time.